This is Hello Glass with another Glass Artist interview. What is your name and are you a glass artist?
Yes, my name is Virginia May Sands and I am a glass artist.
How long have you been making glass art and do you consider yourself a master?
I first started bending neon in 1979 and I do consider myself a glass artist or I don't consider myself a master because there's always more to learn, always.
Your favorite style or type of glass to create with?
Neon. I'm a neon glass tube bender.
What state do you call home for your glass shop?
I live here in Eugene, Oregon.
Do you own or work under a glass brand or an art name?
I think my registered name is V. May Sands Custom Design Neon, my tax ID name.
Cool. Is there a phone number for that shop?
I have, I'm in the phone book under signs in the Eugene phone book.
Nice.
And I am also, I have my email address, vmay@mindspring.com, and I'm on Facebook, my personal Facebook page, but you can find me there.
What's your Facebook?
Virginia Sands. This
Cool.
is my personal page.
Do you make your living solely off glass art?
No, I have some other gigs. I'm a union stagehand, and I set up rock and roll concerts and run follow spot and like that as well.
What style or technique of glass amazed you when you first saw it?
Well, it all kind of amazed me, really. But when I was in art school in Alfred, New York, it was the first year that they taught neon, and it had some real wow factor back then. So I just have to say, it's always been neon. Now I have, Alfred, where I went to college, had the hot tanks and such too, but the neon, I always wanted to draw with the glass.
What style or technique in glass is hardest for you?
Well, the technique that I do is neon, and some of the commercial stuff I do is super hard when you're making 15-foot border tubes for some shopping mall that has to fit into the fancy housings drilled into the wall. That's real border tubes, like 10-foot circles that have to be the perfect. Those are really hard.
If you could collaborate or make glass art with anyone living, who would that be?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, those glass artists down there at the Museum of Neon Art in LA, I would be interested in meeting and collaborating with.
Name 2 people that taught or influenced your glass skills.
Okay, the original neon teacher I had was a man named Fred Nishida back in Alfred, New York, who's also teaches at Pilchuck and is fairly well known. And other than that, I guess I would like to give maybe that's in the next section. I apprenticed with a man named Randy Kilborn, who apprenticed with the classic old guy neon bender, and his name was Jim Ford, long dead now, but he was the classic old style neon bender from yesteryear.
Name 2 glass artists that impress you.
That's where I wanted to answer this question. I would like to give a heads up to all those famous unknown neon benders that are all the sort of the lackeys for the famous artist. The famous artist that does the 3 squiggles on a piece of paper and that team of techs comes in and makes it a reality. Those are the people, those unnamed people that you see the J.C. Penney sign from 50 years ago and you see their glass work and it's beautiful. Those people inspire me. The people you don't know who they are.
Any style or technique of glass you want to learn in the future?
I guess, to be more modern, I could start pursuing the sort of one electrode, the more fancy art glass, single electrode, solid little piece things, as opposed, right now I've always just concentrated on being a traditional sign bender. And I'm your guy that all the sign companies in town hire for, making giant signs in the shopping mall.
Worst injury you ever got making glass art?
Well, in neon you get electrocuted more than you get burned. But I guess my worst injury was one day I was working on a ribbon fire similar to this, so it was twice as big. And I thought a hornet landed on my head for some reason, and I just automatically tossed my piece. I was like, bee! And I tossed my piece, and somehow the piece rubbed across my arm as it flew. And so I had to go to the emergency room and, get some burn treatment. But I also just the other day, one of my a tube popped and anyway, a hot shard flew down and got stuck in my bra. So I now have a fairly bad burn right here.
What do you wish to accomplish in the glass industry?
Well, I'm doing it now. You know, I'm in my 50s, and I'm not becoming anything. I've become it. I'm there. You know, I'm the sign vendor that you hire. I pay for my house and my retirement and my health care, and that's what I do.
How does the glass fan get a hold or get to buy your work?
They can find me at my email address. I pass out my cards, and they can find me on Facebook and the phone book. You know, where I'm in the phone book.
You've got 3 minutes to tell the world whatever you want. Go for it.
Oh, great. Neon is cool. You should buy more neon. It does function. A guy here said to me, too bad your neon doesn't function, isn't functional. And I thought to myself, okay, it's not a pipe. You can't smoke out of it, but it is functional. It's a long history of functional glass. We're in like the same boat as far as trying to prove our legitimacy to the art world that, you know, this is glass art that belongs in museums. You know, we're the same. You know, people have a synonymous vision of it with like ugly shopping malls, or you know, and neon is as legit, but now neon probably is in the Smithsonian and, you know, the Museum of Modern Art. It is, and there's that great museum in Los Angeles and the Neon Museum in Las Vegas, and so as far as functional glass blowing, you know, we've already sort of arrived there.
This was Hello Glass with another Real Glass Artist interview. Thank you so much for your time.